DreamWeaver.
And Jill.
Okay, well, welcome to DreamWeaver and Chill, and thanks for chilling with me. You're the founder and Admiral of Proton. You're the leader of the Protonauts, aka the Proton Armada. Everybody, I have Admiral Proton with me today.
Hello, everyone. It is Proton, the man, the myth, the legend.
And I have to say that everything he says is in all caps, everyone.
Yes, everything I say is in all caps. Well, sometimes I speak in lower caps when I don't feel like pressing the button twice.
When did you start playing Star Trek Fleet Command? And do you remember the first alliance you were in?
Yeah, actually, there's a whole funny story when it comes to all of that. So I started playing Star Trek Fleet Command. I'd say pretty early on. I saw a commercial on TV for it, and I'm like, "Oh, hey, that looks pretty cool." Of course, the commercial looked 1,000 times better than the actual game, but hey, it happens. I mean, that's how they hook you. That's how they get you in there. So, yeah, it's probably we're on like 3 years that I've been playing. I can't say I started playing when the game first came out, but I think I started playing pretty soon after the launch of the game, maybe a couple months. My first alliance is actually the funny thing about it is my first alliance is the alliance I'm in right now. So PRTN has actually gone through a couple changes when it comes to alliances and such. But the first alliance was Synergy, and I know for a lot of you guys, maybe you old timers that have been on the game, will recognize that there was a lot of Synergy teams. There was Snurg and Sarge, and I don't know, every derivation of Synergy you could think of. So we were Synergy, SNRG. And that was back in like the MD days. The team kind of split up, made like 4 different teams under Synergy. We included, at one point, we were allied and included with Arrow. I did move to Arrow for a short bit because the plan was Arrow was supposed to be a power team to take MD out. That kind of fell apart. And here's where it gets kind of interesting. So the admiral of PRTN or Synergy back then, and I can't remember what derivation of Synergy we were, whether we were SNRG, SARG. We were one of those tags. But we split off, and we were actually, the admiral was Snow Wizard, also known as Biff Yeager.
Yeah, I know that name.
Yeah, and a lot of you Star Trek fans should know that name. Biff Yeager was the original chief engineer of the USS Enterprise D in the Next Generation. So before LaForge, in the early episodes, there was an actor named Biff Yeager who was the chief engineer on the Enterprise. He was the admiral of this team. He was playing the game.
And it was the real guy.
From what everything we found out about it, yes, it was the real guy.
That's awesome. I did not know that. All I know about Synergy is Admiral Kirk.
Yes, and he, I believe, is in EMC now.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he was on Raid, Fear, and then just recently left Raid/Fear and went to EMC Reardon, I believe. But yeah, Biff Yeager, from what I understand, it was the real Biff Yeager. I mean, honestly, who's going to want to impersonate the guy that probably played only season 1 chief engineer of? Oh, let me impersonate that guy. No, you're going to find someone else. But as far as I know, it was the real guy. And he was the admiral. So we were, as the team was, he was talking about basically retiring from the game. He didn't want to be the admiral anymore. So I was joking around and I said, "Oh, it should be PRTN, the Protonauts." And I was just joking around with it. I'm like, just all proton, proton, proton. And next thing I know, he's like, "Oh, okay," and he changes the team tag to PRTN, makes me admiral, and he's like, "Have a good one, guys." And I'm like, "What?"
That's awesome.
So he just thrust me into the leadership position. I'm like, "All right, cool," and it's been that way ever since. So I mean, we're a couple years into it now with the team, and so yeah, that's pretty much the story, the
I
PRTN
can tell
story.
you, I've been in your alliance before, and you know that. I had a
Yep,
great time. It's a great group. It changes a little bit here and there around the edges, but the core is always the same. Thopak, you, um,
yep.
it's a strong team.
And the Thopak story was funny too, as far as how we got him on the team and everything. So they were on they had a different alliance, and I forget, it was like maybe Dragon or something. It was like something similar, and we were raiding a base. Me and Superfly, we were raiding a base, one of their bases, and AI Positronic was on. No, was he on the team? Not on my team, but on their team. I think he was. We were raiding one of their bases, and their entire team came out to defend, and and it was just me alone, and I was killing all of their team, trying to take over this base. And I'm like, look, nothing personal. It's just we're raiding a base. And they're like, oh yeah, well, not much we can do against you. And I'm like, well, that's not true. I go, you can do a lot. Why don't you join my team? And we literally absorbed the whole alliance into our team. And that's how Thopak came to the team, because
Well,
he was
what's
the big
funny,
gun over there.
you guys were the first team to ever drain my base, ever.
I'm sorry.
It's
I'm
okay
sorry.
because I not after long after that, Thopak invited me. Was like, "Hey, man, you should just join us." And I was like, "Okay,
Yeah.
cool." Like,
It's like, yeah, we'll take your resources, but come on over and we'll get them all back for you.
yeah,
That was basically how we looked at it. We're like, okay, sorry we took all your resources. That's part of the game. But you know what? Join us over here. We'll help you get it all back.
and that works. It
It
has
does.
worked. So, well, you guys have like a code, and a lot of people don't know what that is, but you call it the Proton Way. And I was proud to support the Proton Way, but no one else knows what it is. What is it?
Every superhero group has a credo. Truth, justice, and the Proton Way. Well, the Proton Way is it's pretty simple. Honorable gameplay, fairness in gameplay, and just overall, don't be a jerk to one, your alliance members, first and foremost, but two, to anybody else. There are aspects of this game that get way blown out of proportion. There's sometimes where folks get way too serious about this game, where it's, they say some I've seen some pretty messed up stuff. And it's a game, guys. I'm guilty of it too. And there's members of my team that have been guilty of it. Nobody's perfect. But we strive to have that be honorable in your gameplay. Don't be that jerk that just because you have a bigger ship than everybody else, don't go killing everybody just because you can. Don't be that guy. Um, you know, if you're draining a base and the defenders come, you can fight them off for a little bit, but sometimes, you're overwhelming in that. You know what? They put up a defense. Cool. All right. We're done. Move on. Don't The thing is, just don't it's that honorable gameplay. Don't bully, don't degrade other teams just because you're bigger than them, just because you can. That's
Yeah,
really the proton. That's really the proton way. It's that I'm not going to be that jerk. I'm not going to be that dick with gameplay. Because I'm interested. I play the game. I choose, just like everybody else who plays this game, We all choose to spend what free time we have playing this game for whatever reason, whether it's relaxing, it's a release because you enjoy it, but we all choose to do that. What we don't choose is we don't choose to come and play this game just to deal with some jerk off doing some kind of just being mean. Nobody needs that. Nobody wants that. And the guy who we drained his base last night, he's mad. You know, I mean, all right. He tells me, enjoy. Karma's a bitch. Great. My response, have a great day. Have a good day. He comes and takes out some of our miners. Brush it off. Move forward. There have been, like I said, we're not perfect. There have been times where folks have taken retaliatory steps. I've addressed those. But you can't be 100% all the time. But that's what we strive to be. We strive to be that honorable team. We try to be the good guys. We try and not be a bullyish type team.
And I think you do a good job.
Thank you.
In my case, some of my best spending has been when I'm mad. Like Scopely has gotten a lot of my cash after I've been.
Rage
Yeah,
spending is
sometimes. Not anymore. Not anymore. Maybe in 2019 I would rage spend.
But see, that's the thing. I don't work for Scopely, or do I? No, but why am I going to sit here and make you so mad to go and spend $200, $300, $400 on this game? Spend it because you want to spend it, and that's the other thing with the team. There's no I don't tell the team to spend. No, that's your money. That's your real life money. Spend when you want to spend. Spend how you want to spend. That's it.
Build 4 Mayflowers if you want. I mean, be a
Exactly.
weirdo.
If you want to build 4 Mayflowers and a hijack Mayflower, build whatever you want.
And another one on the
However,
way. Yeah, that's happening.
and you know what? And now, if you look at it, building all those Mayflowers probably wasn't a bad idea considering what you get for scrap.
Yeah, now I'm like smart, but back then I was just a freak.
Yeah, everybody back then was like, "What the hell? Why are you building so many damn Mayflowers? Why are you the Mayflower King? This is ridiculous. You're so stupid." Oh, hey, look, I'm getting lots of 4-star mats for scrapping these things now. Oh,
Let me
look
tell
who's the
you,
stupid one.
a lot, a lot of 4-star.
Yeah, and you need a lot of that 4-star gas for your buildings and for your ships, your 4-star ships. You need a lot of uncommon gas. You need a lot of uncommon gas for your buildings, for your guns on your station, for a lot of stuff on your station. You need that uncommon 4-star stuff when you're levels 40 through like 45. You need all of that stuff, and you need a lot of it.
Well, let me ask you this: since you brought up this guy sending you some hate mail, that was kind of lame hate mail from him. Kind of, karma's a bitch. That's boring. What's
Yeah.
the worst hate mail? What's the most hateful hate mail you've ever received?
Oh, geez. I mean, I've got some doozies. Um, I think I got one. Uh, well, I mean, I'm not going to name names because this person still plays the game. Um, it was early on in their career on the game, if you will. But man, this guy had some anger issues. But and it was messages of "I will kill your family."
Oh,
Yeah, and I'm
oh,
like, and my response to that was, "Will you now?" I'm like, well, that's interesting considering you don't know who I am, where I'm at, or what, or anything. But sure. So, and there were some messages that went back and forth with that, but the kill your family was that was fun.
That's
You know,
intense.
it was, and the thing is, it's an online game, and every single last one of us can be the biggest, baddest ass person on the planet when we're behind a keyboard. We can be that keyboard where, oh yeah, we're such a bad. Yeah, no, I don't play that way. I'm not gonna sit there and be that keyboard warrior and hide behind the keyboard. I don't say those types of things. We did go back and forth. I never threatened him back in that way. I'm like, look, dude, I'm like, everything that you're saying to me right now, so ridiculously against the terms of service. I'm like, so I'm not going to report you. I should, but I'm not. But it's a game. Let it go.
Yeah,
And
go build some Mayflowers. Chill out.
it was over at base drain. We drained his
Yeah.
base. And this was like a year and a half, 2 years ago. So it was earlier on in the game where I'll say this much: tempers on the game were 2 years ago were much more intense than they are now. They're still pretty intense now, but it was really intense like 2 years ago when everyone for the most part was where the whole server for the most part was like in their level 30s or high 20s, and competition was a little more fair across the board with all the teams, but and just people would lose their shit.
I remember maybe January or February of 19, back when like a level 24 Kumari was like the king.
Yep.
Like it was crazy to
And
think
see,
back on that.
but minus people's tempers and people getting upset, the game was most competitive then.
Yeah.
Everyone had a shot. You could defend a base against a bigger team.
Well, a
Against,
base would actually fight back then.
yeah,
Like you couldn't it wasn't a freebie. Every ship you sent had a chance of getting zapped.
yeah. It's not like that anymore.
No.
Not like that anymore. There's the power differences, in my opinion, get way too extreme in the 40s, and forget about the 50s. The 50s, whatever. The 50s are a joke. And the rules that Scopely had in place, so it made sense that okay, so I'm a level 30, I can't hit a level 20. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I can be a level 50 and I can hit a level 30. I think I can still hit a level 30 at level 50. I think.
I know
If
you can hit
not,
a 34. I think you can hit a 34. I may
yeah.
be wrong, but I think I was excited when Ska was a 50 and I was a 33.
But see, but that's the thing. At,
That's
at
a
level
big gap.
50, at level 50, you shouldn't be able to hit below level 46
Yeah.
because your power difference is so tremendous. And I think the best example I can give you with that is, I think it was Hyper that hit Ska's Tribune when Ska was level 50, and it took Hyper 600 hits with
Oh,
his D4 to kill Ska's Tribune.
that's a little little that's a little tough, man.
Right. And I think at the time Hyper was level 39, maybe 39 or 40. Ska was level 50. 600 hits from a D4 to take out a Tribune. Hyper was committed, and he spent a lot of resources to get that done. And but Scott was a little upset by that, from what I understand. But that's a big power gap.
And
And
that was
I
also a long time ago, if you really think about it.
right, that's too much. You know that that's to me that doesn't seem right or fair. Yeah, you did all the work to get the Tribune. Absolutely, you did. You did all the work, spent all the money to get to the Tribune. You did that, but uh, should you be able to yeah, that power gap's too big. So, and I couldn't tell you how that would get addressed. I couldn't tell you how that could get fixed. It's just a mechanic of the game that we deal with. And, you know, an example I could give you is the other night, is because it's funny, this was probably like 3 nights ago. We were draining Admiral Kirk in Leon. So it was my team. We were draining him, and Ska, Vulcan, and GNN showed up.
Wow.
Told my team, pack it up. We're done. We're not even going to try and defend. We're not going to try and defend. We're not going to try and hold that base. No, I have nothing in firepower that can match any of their ships. I'm not going to tell my team to waste all the resources to try and. No, you know, when they're showing up in Corvuses and Newtons and Pilums and Hegtas and all of those big ships that are like 30, 40 million, 120, 130, 140 million. Nope. All right, guys, we're done. Shield up, move on. And that's what we did. Literally, in under 30 seconds, Ska hit our bases. Yay. We're all shielded. Just put a bigger shield on. We all moved out and moved on to the next base.
Everyone's favorite set of rules, the rules of engagement, or row. What do you what is that to you? And if you could change something about row, what would you change?
So, in my opinion, I think row is actually fantastic. I think it's actually good for overall gameplay and growth of your account and health of the server, right? However, row's fault is that everyone has their own interpretation. It's not one set of rules. So, and the only way you can get one set of rules for everyone to follow is if Scopely enacted something. And if you think about it, Scopely kind of has enacted, you know, minimal row, but really not, you know, with protected cargo. That, you know, that's Scopely's row, because you can still get hit with protected cargo. You're going to get that cargo. Scopely will never change it. However, with row, like I said, I think it's overall good for everyone to follow, but it needs to be uniform across all teams. So I know with my guys, we are row period. Don't hit any miners unless they're OPC. Don't hit data miners. I mean, really, what's the point? You can mine it just as fast. Let it go. Mine it yourself. Don't hit. And then the row applications when it comes to swarm space. So I know that there are some interpretations of row where floating warships are fair game. Well, this server has a bad tendency to leave a bunch of floating warships all over the damn board.
Yeah.
You know, don't hit, you know, don't go and hit OPC ships in swarm space or in Borg space. Some folks do, even now, but there's no reason. Do it yourself. So, and then the whole, you know, row doesn't apply when, because I know some teams have some funky rules when it comes to row. If your ship is coming towards my ship, I can attack it. What? Okay, sure. If there's an active base raid happening in that system, like anywhere in that system, oh, I can kill all your ships. Come on, bro. Seriously. And there are some members there are some teams that use those types of rules and bend them to their will so that they can actually kill ships or kill players on teams they don't like.
And basically
So,
start a war, I guess, right? I mean, that would be war.
yeah, yes, you were on the team when that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of that that wasn't a reason, but it kind of led to that. It's, you know, and I mean, it happens in territory space. You know, it'll happen in territory space where your miner won't get touched as long as it stays on the node, but your miner is about to go OPC, and so you're trying to bring your miner back to your base, but someone hit a base in your territory, and so now, even though they're not actively draining it, but because they hit a base, that means there's a base drain happening, and now when you go to return your miner, I can hit your miner. Come on, man.
Now that's an actual rule that someone follows right now.
Hasn't happened in a while, but yes, that is a row rule that is out there.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah. And I brought it up, and I'm like, come on, dude, really? Oh, well, you know, we were draining a base at the time. Were you, though? You weren't.
And what was that miner going to do to you?
Oh, that miner was going to take out your, oh, what was it? Yeah, your pilum. Your mine that Meridian miner was going to take out your pilum. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, this happened. It hasn't happened in a while, but this was going on for a little bit, and I'm like, Jesus, I'm like, knock it off. But yeah, I would want it to be, Ro, I would want it to be across the board. Don't hit OPC. Don't hit floating warships unless you are actively, you know, hit warships if you're engaging in a base defense or a base raid. Okay, hit warships. That makes sense. Don't hit in OPC Swarm. Don't hit OPC Borg. You know, EMC did come to their senses and update the row rules. Gosh, probably over a year ago, regarding no more than 2 miners in one system in deep space. Deep space is really crowded now, but that was going to happen anyways as folks' levels increased. So, you know, deep space is still, for the most part, doesn't get hit OPC. Does happen sometimes, but it's more likely to get hit with a 0 node. Um, it seems like with deep space, everyone who gets to as soon as deep space opens goes on a freaking OPC hit spree. Like, everybody does that, and you have to reel those folks back in, but everyone gets mad about it. So I would say, look, it's OPC is OPC, no matter where it is. And there are some folks that get extremely mad about OPC hits. I mean, it's you know,
I love lazy miners. Personally, I love lazy miners. If you're going to leave it out there, and I'm making like 30,000 3-star gas. Yeah, I
no,
want that.
and the worst OPC offenses are in territory space when it comes to ISO. Folks will leave like 100K overprotected ISO, and they get mad at you when you hit their OPC. And so it's like, okay, guys, let it go.
What do you think about territory space overall?
You got an hour?
Yeah, give me the condensed version.
I'll give you the condensed version. All right. So territory space, I think, is, oh geez, how do I put this? It's not. I think territory space is not what anyone envisioned, and I think it's just actually horrible. I am not a fan of territory space at all, especially with what's going on in territory space right now. So in territory space, you have the coalition, which is just about every team that has a territory space. EMC, LVE, EK, Dune, TTWS, Onyx, PPA, Sword, SCE, Revo, PIF, EMC and EMC2. Really, the only folks that are not within that coalition within territory space are like Inc. and PRTN and SGZR. EXC wasn't part of it, but I don't think they have territory currently at this moment. So coalitions, I know we had a coalition when territory first opened up, but I think what the idea of what the current coalition is, and FAIR is part of that coalition. I think that what they think they're doing good by the server, but in actuality, they are actually hurting the server. So, here's my view on it. So, I think territory space should be 1v1. That's where it should be. Have I been part of a coalition when territory first opened? Yes, I'll freely admit that. Our team was. We were in territory with a coalition with Fury and Inc. and SGZR and KH and EXC, a few others. And we actually had all the spaces we wanted in territory. Everything else, anyone else could have fun, enjoy. That all blew up. EMC decided they didn't like it. Okay. And drama ensued. But I think the current iteration of coalition in territory hurts the overall health and growth of the server, because there are teams that, in my opinion, shouldn't have territory with how they currently are as far as when it comes to active members. A lot of times, and I don't know if you've witnessed it as well, D-Dub, is that a lot of times territory space is not being utilized. So
I see it. I raid territory space regularly, and there are alliances that I've never seen someone mining in.
right. So what's the point of you having territory for, let's say, because let's be honest, the main reason to have territory space is not because of the buffs. The buffs are nice, but the main reason to have territory is for the ISO, to mine ISO 2, to mine ISO 3, and to mine 4-star mats or 3-star mats. That's what it's for. But if you are a team and you have a territory or multiple territories and you're not doing that, then you are wasting that resource that other teams could be utilizing. So, you have a team that has, 3 territory spaces, 4 territory spaces, and they're not mining any of they maybe have one miner in a system utilizing it because their teams aren't as active. Whereas you have other teams, and yeah, I'm biased about it because I'm the Admiral PRTN, but you have teams like myself that have one territory that we do mine often. We typically, anytime in our system, there'll be 4 or 5 people mining in either system, but we can't take these other territories because we're not part of the coalition. Because if you're not part of the coalition, you can't have territory. I mean, you have to fight tooth and nail to try and get a piece of territory. And if you do, then it's almost meaning war because you took someone's territory.
It seems a lot like Europe prior to World War I.
Yeah,
Lots of alliances and peace treaties, and if someone attacks you, I'll attack them. That's a mess.
it is. It is an absolute mess. So, like I can give you an example of, and this happened probably about over, and so there's pretty much almost like a standing order with EMC. They don't want my team to have any other territory. They've actually gifted our territory, or tried to gift our territory, to EXC one time. When EXC was coming back into territory, EMC tried to gift our territory to them. EXC is like, no, we're not doing that. No, because EXC and my team were friendly.
Yeah.
So we've tried for other territories. So at one point, PPA had the territory right next to us that Grow currently has. PPA at the time was not part of the coalition. We went in to take that territory. And when I say we, it was just PRTN. Brought no other friendlies, brought no one else. I went into it 1v1. PPA was not part of the coalition, yet they put the call out into GC. And here comes EMC running into territory to wipe us out to keep us from getting the territory. Why?
It sounds like a strategy to deprive certain alliances of resources.
Correct. And that's where, and that's exactly what it is. And that's where you hurt the overall growth and health of the server. If your goal is to improve the health and growth of the server, there are certain things you shouldn't be doing, and that would be one of them. Because my team is a very active team. About 90% of my team, 90 to 95% of my team is logged on and playing the game every day. And my guys can use those resources, but we're locked and can't because there's certain folks out there that don't want us to. So yeah, it's a struggle. The struggle's real. We've gone through it, but we've continued to grow. If you are truly invested in the health and overall growth of the server, then teams that aren't as active, or even from a power scaling, shouldn't have a territory. Let's say, for example, why does a team ranked anywhere between 20 and 30 in overall power on the server have one or multiple territories, whereas a team in the top 10 has none? Why?
There's something blocking it.
Right. What's broken here? There's something that shouldn't be happening here. That team that's in the top 10 should at least have one territory. At least. And you know what?
You would think if we were using logic, that's what it would look like.
Correct. And look, EMC, no one's going to touch your territories, man. No one can touch you guys. That's the fact of the server. No one can touch you guys. Period. End of story. No one's trying to take your territories. Have your fun. Get out of everybody else's business.
And let me tell you, man, they have some strong miners now.
They do.
It took me 3 hits because I want all of that. I want all of those resources, and I'm using my little Vidar. It took me 3 hits the other night to get what I wanted. Luckily, they were asleep or away from keyboard, whatever.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You know, EMC plays Kingmaker when they shouldn't, because who they're trying to make king isn't helping the overall server health and growth. No one's going to try for EMC territories. No one's going to try for it. No one has the power to.
Yeah.
We can't. Nobody on the server. No other alliance. Even if the entire rest of the server got together to go after one EMC 1-star territory for, let's say, Atlas territory, nobody can touch them. All it takes is Ska. One ship, Ska, wipes out the entire server. Literally. Not figuratively, literally. Yeah. So, you just stay in your lane, man. Just stay in your lane. Be cool. No one's going to mess with you. I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to go to war with the EMC. What's the point? Waste all resources for something I can't win? No. All I can do is be annoying and hit their miners. Yay, what a great war. Hooray.
Yeah. And that's no fun. No. It's not fun anymore.
No. War is pointless in this game. It's a waste of resources, both sides.
Well, I think that's the point, right? Like territory space, wars. I think territory space was designed by Scopely to get us to fight with each other, to
yes.
breed conflict.
Yes. Absolutely was. Because that's how they make more money. Because you're going to get in the conflicts. You're going to spend your resources. Oh, shit, now I need more resources. Okay. And I can't mine it or get it quick enough because we're at war. Okay, I need to buy it. Of course, Scopely's a business; they're in it to make money. And of course, the more you spend, the better the more power you have, and the more you spend, the more likely Scopely will do things for you. Like if you spend lots of money, they name a planet after you.
Yeah, I heard about that. Is that true?
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
But it's way his Ska's planet, if you will, is way out in deep Romulan space.
So
I can't
nobody could
even.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get to it. I think you have to have like warp range 235 or something like that.
If I had a system, I would want like Opla. Like I want to be right there. Like
Right,
come
one
to
that
my house.
everyone can see. Hey, put it right smack dab. Level 1 can see my planet. Bam, there it is. I want everyone to see. I've spent all this money. Boom, here's my planet. However, you could also do it the way I did it, which is have a whole alliance named after you and didn't spend a dime to have that done. So, and everyone
Yeah.
sees that. So,
Well, speaking of alliances, what's your favorite alliance besides your own, and why do you love them so much?
I mean, I'm narcissistic, so I just love me so much. No, you know, there's a lot of good alliances out there with a lot of good people. I can't really say that there's one. You know, my team's been around for so long that I have members of that used to be in PRTN just about in every major alliance out there. A lot of my guys went to EMC. Hell, GNN was on my team at one point in time, way back in the Synergy days.
Wow.
Yeah, a whole bunch of them over in EMC were on this team. Um, I have folks that went to Inc. I have folks that are, I mean, they've gone everywhere because we've been around for so damn long. I can't say that there's one that's my favorite, but you know, there's a lot of good guys on a lot of guys and gals, on a lot of teams. I like Inc. I like KH. I like Dread. I like EXE. I like SGZR. You know, there's I like Dune. I like oh geez. Um, I mean, there's a lot of teams out there. I like SOS.
Hey man, I
I
appreciate that.
hey, no problem.
I'll give you
There
your $20 after the
sweet.
show.
Yeah, just go ahead and Venmo me that, and we're good. There's a lot of teams out there that I like. And it's because of the people, and that's what it's all about. It's about the people. You know, you can have some bad interactions with people, and you can have some good interactions, and you want more good than bad. So I can't say there's one that's my favorite. Um, I'm an easygoing guy. It's be cool with me, and I'm cool with you all day.
Well, now I'm afraid to ask my next question.
Oh, you already know the answer to that one.
Well, I'm afraid it might violate the Proton way to ask this, but what it's got to happen. What
It's
is your
got it.
least favorite alliance and why?
Well, so it's not violating the Proton way, and here's why. So my least favorite alliance, and I'm sure anyone who's on EMC is going to be so surprised to hear this, it's EMC. They're my least favorite alliance, and it's not that I hate them. It's not that I don't like them. They're just my least favorite because there's so much more you can do with what you got. Um, you can do so much good with what you have than what you're currently doing right now. And it's not there's excuse me, and there are a lot of good guys over on EMC, Reardon and Atlas. There's a lot of good people, a lot of good players over there. Genuinely nice players, nice people. But there's just a couple that ruin everything in my book for what they do. And, it's, I'm not going to, I don't sit there, I won't sit here and bash or anything like that. And yeah, there's a lot of, there's a lot of messed up things that have happened between us and EMC. Things I don't agree with, things they don't agree with. And there's no love lost between our two teams. But when you look at it overall from a power rating, no, EMC can kick my team's ass all day, every day. There you go, EMC. I said it. Love it.
There you
I know
go.
that.
You heard it.
You heard it. But
It's
the thing
official.
is, it's official. Yes. But at the same time, we're no pushovers. And no,
Yeah.
I do not want war. I don't want war with anybody. It's a waste of resources. But EMC, yes, is my least favorite alliance, and it's only because of a few people on the team that give them a bad reputation with at least my team and with others, and it's not the team as a whole, and the behaviors they exhibit. So, and this is just an example because this happens today and it happens every day, and it's one of these. Why do you do it? It's stupid. Why do you do this? It's a stupid tactic. Why do you do it? Nobody else does it. So when my team and I don't know if they do it with other teams because I'm not on other teams. However, when my team goes or a member of my team goes and hits OPC in their territory and they'll try and get it back to their base, sometimes EMC will sit cloaked in our territory and hit that ship before it gets into base. Okay. That's it's you got caught OPC, let it go, but okay, so you did that. That's not the problem. The problem is 90% of the time, if we go hit OPC in their territory, they will come en masse to our territory to hit everything OPC and any unshielded base in our territory within 5 minutes of taking their OPC. It's so predictable at this point that my team, before we go and hit OPC and EMC territory, we tell the team, hey, watch your miners, OPC, shield up your bases. I'm going to go for OPC. You know EMC's coming. And it's the same guys that always come into the territory to do the same behavior over and over and over again. It's like, guys, you got caught OPC. Let it go. My team isn't going running into other territories or other teams because they get caught OPC and going hitting everything that's OPC or anything that's any unshielded bases and all that. We're not doing that. That to me, that seems like a bully tactic, and it's not cool. And literally, you can time it. It's like, oh, I just hit so and so for OPC. 3, 2, 1. Oh, there's so and so from EMC. Welcome to the territory. It's to me, it's that type of behavior that makes me not like you. You know, it, you got caught and hit for OPC. It doesn't mean I want your attention. No, I don't want your attention. Don't go OPC. It's pretty simple. But yeah, I mean that's what it is. So EMC, no, I don't like you. I don't love you. I also don't hate you. There's some of you guys that are cool. There's some of you guys that are dicks. You guys feel the same way about us. And no, no war. So don't misunderstand anything I'm saying. That's all I got to say about that.
Well, I will say, Anubis and I go way back. I mean, a lot of those guys do. Like
Yeah,
Anubis was the first guy to invite me to like an official, actual alliance when I was like running around, trying to find my way. And
yeah,
I've always remembered that, and he has too. He knows it.
yeah. Anubis is a good guy.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's just one or two folks that just kind of screw it up for everyone. Ska's a good guy. I've had good interactions with Ska. He's a good guy.
Oh, I've interviewed him. He's a regular bro.
Yeah, he's a bro. Cool. It's those couple that I don't know, give them a little power. They think they're a dictator. Forget about it. It's like, guys, no, don't. Just don't be a dick. Be like Proton. Don't be a dick. Follow the Proton way. Call it the EMC way. I don't care. I don't have a copyright on it.
The official name for your alliance is PRTN. Is that the way
Yes.
you say it? Okay.
Yes.
I say Proton, but we don't normally talk, so
Well, no, it's Proton. It's just the tag is PRTN.
PRTN.
Yeah. It's the Proton Alliance. It's the alliance is named after me.
Like
Literally.
all good empires should be.
Exactly. Exactly. Sky, you can have your planet. I got my alliance.
That is actually cool that he has his own planet. I wish I
It is,
could
but
see it, though. I wish I could see it. That's my only
I
beef with
wish I
that.
could see it too. So, Sky, if you're listening to this, talk to Scopely and tell them to move your planet into a space where everybody on the server can see it. And you know what? Maybe people can go live at it too. Say, yo, I'm living at Sky's place. That would be awesome.
Dude,
That
especially if the gas like mined at like 3 times the regular rate.
right. So and see that's what you can do. EMC, that's what you can do. Hey, Sky, be that guy, be that growth and that health of the server. You know what? I'm gonna bring my planet into this system, and you know what? If you live on my planet, you get a mining bonus in this system of 3 times. It's like, yo, I want to go live at Sky's place. Everybody loves Sky now.
Dude, my
You heard
bags
it
are
here.
packed. My bags are
Exactly.
packed for that.
Bro, I'd go live at Sky's place. I'd be like, yo, I need a mine. All right, I'm gonna go live at Sky's place for a day or two. And then boom.
Get your gas and get on, right?
Yeah, and then he has control of who he can. He has control of people he can boot off that planet. Because say someone is trying to live there permanently, it's like, yo, man, you ain't paying rent. Get the fuck out.
That would be awesome. That would be an awesome thing to have.
Yes, if you already have your planet, take it that next step, man. Come on, Scott, do it.
You heard it.
Yeah, Proton's pulling for you.
Well, now that I know that Proton's been around basically forever, like Synergy was there. I mean, we went to war with Synergy back in the day.
Yep.
We even changed when we were in GOT. We changed our name to a Synergy similar name, and we went and attacked all of you guys. And you guys were sending us messages like, "Hey, we're on the same team, guys. What are you doing? What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, like, come on, man. We're all
It
here.
was
We're all here
awesome.
to try. We're all here to try and take out MD.
Yeah, it was an awesome night. An awesome night. But you've been here forever. So why do you think that you've been around for so long and your alliance is so successful?
Honestly, uh, to be honest with you, I think it's been honestly because of the Proton way, because of it's the honorable gameplay, fair gameplay, and don't be a dick. Be kind, be respectful in PMs. You know, I think that has driven the success because we've never been the number one alliance or the top alliance or anything. We're always like anywhere top 5, top 8. We've always been fluctuated in through there. But I think a lot of it has to do with the people that have come to this team. We've had some good ones, we've had some bad ones. That's every team. But I think that because it's the behavior that's driven on the team, it's the mentality and the the honorable gameplay that everyone is on board with. I think that's what has built a pretty solid mid 40s team because lower to mid 40s is where a lot of my guys are at, and I think that's what has driven that success for the team is that mentality. You know, we're not warmongers. We don't want to go to war. If we're pushed into a corner, we will, and then we'll fight like dogs. But we'd rather just solve everything diplomatically. We'd rather, be fair and do right by others, by this, to what's going to help the server grow and the overall health. I think that's what really has driven Proton to be around for as long as we have. And honestly, I don't see us going away anytime soon. I mean, unless I do something stupid.
Don't rename it something and give it to Thopak.
Oh, name it THPK?
Yeah, not that that would be a bad thing, but don't do that.
Oh, Thopak's a good guy.
I like him. Tell me something that you think is true about the server that nobody agrees with you on. They think you're crazy.
I really can't think of anything. For the most part, for the most part, I've everything that I've shared, that I've said, I usually won't say it unless it's pretty much true. I don't. I'm not a big conspiracy theorist or liar. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to spit the truth every single time.
I'll tell you mine. I have an opinion or a fact that nobody agrees with me on.
Okay.
I don't have as many alts as everyone thinks I do. That's the truth.
Oh well, that's the same thing. Well, that's the same. That's the same thing with Vulcan. Everyone thinks that Vulcan has 10,000 alts. He has a couple.
Well, let me ask you one last question. And this doesn't have anything to do with the game. It can be about the game, it can be about you. But if you died today, how would you like to be remembered?
Honestly, I just want to. My whole goal. I would just want to be remembered as a good, kind man. That's it.
That's awesome.
That I did right by my fellow man or woman. That I wasn't an asshole. That's all. It's really simple. I live a simple life. I just want to be remembered as, be like, hey, you know that guy? He was really cool. He was a genuinely nice person. That's it. That's all I want to be remembered for.
Admiral Proton,
Yes, sir.
thanks for chilling with me.
DW, I will chill with you any day, anytime. I thank you for the interview. It was a wonderful discussion. Um, you truly are, like I said, you are onto something here, and you are truly a legend. And I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everything you do. You're a good guy.
Well, I appreciate all that, man. If somebody else wants to be interviewed, you know where I'm at.